Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another scene set in the Chronicles of Darkness, Vampire a Requiem for London. Another night in London, another night of war and bloodshed. Dr. Heartwell sits within his laboratory. The laboratory so generously gifted to him by the Invictus in exchange for his services. Toiling away to provide them with the power to end this war and re-secure their iron grip over the city. If I may ask, Hartwell, what specific operation is he working on right now? Is someone strapped to the operating table? Is he looking over Vitae samples?
It'd probably depend. What time of evening is it?
It's still early-ish in the evening. Still about. It's about to hit 9 p.m.
Well, considering he's basically been living in this facility now because he can't go back to his haven, which is located in his graveyard. Wow, this character's fucked up on every level. Huh. He's probably in his office reviewing. It's going to be nothing as melodramatic as surgery or alchemy, but he's probably in his office reviewing his reviewing notes of tests that will have happened during the day, of rates of decay of various different infusions that he's trying to do. So he'll basically be looking over the results of tests that would have been carried on during the day, particularly if it's very early at night. So that can inform him what he needs to do moving forward later on in the evening.
Okay. So you're engaged in a bit of forensic analysis. You currently look over your samples. Do you want to make an intelligence plus medicine check?
Yeah. Will my specialty in kindred experimentation come into play here?
Absolutely. Because let's be honest, that's exactly what this is.
Okay, so that's going to be 5 plus 3 is 8. Oof! An exceptional success.
An exceptional success. Well, the analysis you do yields some interesting results. Less in relation to your work for the Invictus, but more in relation to your work for the Wolf. Using your particular call to manipulate the anatomy of the kindred body to defend against supernatural abilities. And you think it's a minor thing, but you think you may have discovered a way to broaden the application of the skill you were working on ever so slightly.
So what he does is Hartwell is old-fashioned. He's very much pre-1980s kind of medicine. So he does everything by journals, documents, files, because he doesn't really do computers per se. He can if he wants to, but he doesn't really like using them. He prefers to store his notes in a more physical template, because that also means that they can be more easily stored or destroyed should they be needed to be, because obviously in the modern era everything leaves a footprint. So what he does is he makes a note on his file, which is basically I will have this couriered over to the other laboratory for the wolf to have a look at and see what his thoughts are on the matter. So he kind of denotes that with his free hand as he pushes the file to the other side of his desk.
Would you like to roll me a wits plus composure roll real quick, please? As you do so.
I would, you know. A success.
A success. You're putting you're setting aside your files. When you hear two large thumping sounds, like doors slamming open.
Question, because obviously this building was bequeathed to me. It's not mine. Yeah. Does it have security cameras?
Yes, not in the room you're currently in, but there's a security room you could make your way to. It is in the direction of the sounds, however.
Heartwell will stand. Heartwell... Heartwell's going to spirit touch the building if he can.
Okay.
So that would be 9 dice. He asks the building, how many people have just forcibly entered? I beg your pardon?
The sound of someone counting from 1 to 2 to 3.
Mm-hmm. He asks, where are they, with his second question.
Okay. Your mind briefly flashes between a couple of locations in the main hall that leads up to the laboratory you're in.
All right.
You briefly see the figures. Two bulky-looking men in Kevlar armor, and another woman who looks quite young and much more life than the rest of them. Wearing a very archaic looking suit of armor. I'll just put it in the what you see section. What you see. Okay.
Cool.
There you go.
Oh, fuck, I know her. Joshua knows her. Oh, well. You see Heartwell sigh softly. He takes out his phone and using Ordo code, because he can, I have the contact information for several members of the Axe, including my friend who I met, who's one of the couriers. Yeah, friend courier. I can't remember their name, Bishop. You're going to have to give me a prompt. What was the courier friend's name?
Oh, Rachel Brassard?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, he's going to send a very heavily encrypted using, because obviously the Ordo have their own language when it comes to things like, you know, how we communicate. Basically, he's going to try and pull his status, and he's going to basically say, my laboratory and all of its vital research is under attack. Send help immediately. I'll emphasize vital research there.
Roll me a manipulation plus persuasion check. You may add your auto status.
Yeah. Is this worth the willpower? I don't want to die.
Now, normally you would have to open somebody's doors for this. However, you lack the time to do that. So instead, there will be a cost to the service at a later date if you succeed.
Well, she did say that if I ever needed help, to let her know. I will say, but I don't mind. I will say paying for the service. I don't mind. But I mean, I thought it was the Axe's job to defend the Ordo.
Yes, but there's also an Invictus laboratory.
I'm also doing research for us.
This is also true. And why they will most likely help you. Well, why they will help you if you succeed.
Manipulation, you said.
Manipulation plus persuasion, yes.
And I can have my Ordo status.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? I'll go down to 4 willpower, and I'll spend for the extra dice. Do I lose any dice from the check, or no?
No.
2 of the successes.
Okay. You get a reply back. OMW 10 men.
Oh. You see Heartwell stand. They're making their way up to his experiments. He can't let them unstake some of his experiments. That would end in tragic ways.
Yeah, no, they've as you sort of make that text, they've already made their way up to the security room, and they've made their way up to one of the rooms. They're approaching one of the rooms where the state kindred are. Granted, you don't keep a lot of your projects here, or rather, the Invictus don't leave a lot of them here, but particularly the ones you have active experiments and projects on are generally kept here, because you need to keep an eye on how they develop.
So Alexander is going to shroud himself in his obfuscate and is going to step outside.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out his brass knuckles, which have an odd shadowy tint to them, because I don't think that ever goes away. Do the shadow weapons go away?
No.
Okay. He uses a pair of brass knuckles that he has that particular thing on. Because I decided to not be extra and use fighting claws, though I was so tempted. So he steps outside and makes his way down towards where the intruders are.
Okay.
He has to defend his laboratory.
Yep, they're currently in the corridor. And they've made their way to the security room. The security room is quite small. There is one individual who sort of is hanging by the wall just outside the other two who are in the security room.
Do they appear to see him?
It's funny you should mention that. Would you like to roll me a Clash of Wills? Your aspects and your blood potency.
More than life itself. 2 successes.
Oh, nice. They don't appear to see you.
Do they all have to roll independently? Because I know the auspex in this game is weird. Because I can attack one of them now, and it will only break my auspex for them, or my obfuscate for them, won't it? I'm not 100% sure how this works because I've never attacked anyone out of obfuscate before.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me double check for you real quick. Yeah, so if you're under Cloak of Night, actually, what level?
Oh, he's got terrible obfuscate. He's only got 1.
In which case, yes, if you strike somebody, you will be you'll be perceived by anybody. If it obfuscate 3, you would only be perceived by the struck vampire. Although, mechanically speaking, your other opponents would still be able to make blind attacks against you. They would suffer massive dice penalties to affect you. I think they'd be suffering a -5 dice penalty in addition to every other modifier you have. So
Does the woman seem to be the leader?
Yes.
He's going to listen to their conversation.
Okay. As you listen in on their conversation, she is very much commanding them. She is saying, "I want a recording of the last 3 months worth of footage in this place. Once we're done here, we move to that room." And she points to what you understand is the room where the kindred are kept. "We need to see if they have anyone or anything still in storage. Then we need to burn this place to the ground." And then as they sort of scramble to follow her orders, she slams her fist against the wall, leaving causing a significant chunk of it to she just punches straight through it. She just says, "Enough dallying. We could be caught at any moment."
Heartwell looks down to check his phone, just in order to see how much time has elapsed. Basically, he's currently mentally doing arithmetic, if that makes sense. As in, he doesn't want to engage until the last possible moment to buy his backup more time to get here.
Moving very quickly. One of the men responds by simply by tearing out the hard drive.
That was expensive. It's all that goes through Harold's mind.
It appears a ton of effort is being put into subtlety here, and they're sort of hoping that enough footage will be on the hard drive. Or they're just kind of hoping it'll be CCTV as opposed to
alright,
some
fuck
network
it.
system.
At this point, Heartwell is going to have to react, and he's going to have to react hard and fast. Lol.
Okay.
That's not a euphemism. What is, because I think it works on the primary target, or the higher of the two, what is the higher of the two's people's resolve?
Resolve, I think we've got a...
I assume it's pretty good. It's either a 3 or a 4, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Okay.
So actually do... Who are you striking is important.
Beg your pardon?
Who are you striking?
He's going to try and ignite... He's going to try and basically blaze the room. So he's going to try and get everyone in that room. Why is there an issue?
No, I'm just checking something. As
Okay.
there are some other modifiers that are going to come into play here.
Okay.
So they take.
Just tell me how.
You take their resolve as a penalty, which is in this
Mm-hmm.
case the highest is -3. You also take an additional -3 penalty.
Okay. What does that feel like to him? Because he's felt resolve. Is there something else that's pushing back against him?
Oh no, scrap that. You don't take the -3 dice penalty for this attack.
Okay. What he's also going to do is, Bishop, he's also going to strategically place himself. So he's going to be as far away from them physically as he can still be, whilst I believe I can do this within line of sight. So basically he's giving himself they will have to traverse the distance to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not a particularly large hallway. They could probably reach you, depending on how fast they are. If it was an average mortal, they probably wouldn't be able to reach you. But if it was a kindred with vigor or celerity would probably be able to reach you pretty easily.
Okay, because basically that's fine. Can you explain this to me? Because obviously we're going through some pretty interesting crunch mechanics here. When I attack, it will be a surprise round. Am I right in that assessment?
Yes.
Can I spend blood to pock my own celerity on a surprise round?
What do you mean, like re-trigger your celerity?
Basically, if I keep a blood spare on a surprise round, can I burn a point into my celerity so I can essentially boom magic explosion in the room and then run away?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
You don't. You would need Obfuscate 3 to even attempt that, and you don't have that, unfortunately.
That's entirely fine. After this scene, after this session, I'm going to definitely be buying up some Obfuscate because it's my one hilarious glaring weakness. All right, so let's.
Once you attack somebody, even with Cloak of Night, the person you've attacked will continue to perceive you.
Okay, so basically, what we're going to do, Bishop, is we're going to go whole hog. Oh yeah! That was that too energetic? I feel that was too energetic.
It's quite energetic.
Okay. So we start off with a basic pool of 8 to do this attack. We are going to spend a willpower, bringing me down to 3. Because I have to spend a willpower anyway to do this attack. We are going to then spend another willpower, bringing me down to 2, for an additional +5 dice, which will make it a total of 12 dice.
And you were trying to affect the entire room, right?
Yeah, but I split successes off my roll for that. So
okay.
When I roll and get successes, I split them off to do various different things.
Yeah, I need to look up. I should probably.
Yeah, how about we look at that now?
Because I know, it's something like you either lose dice or successes, but I can't remember which one it is.
It's you lose success or you split successes. I'm almost sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So each success, so you can spend a success to increase the size of a manifestation.
And the room you said is not that big.
The room's not that large.
And also, since it's a security room, interestingly enough, I assume it's actually fireproof. Because most security rooms are secure, so they'll have things like inbuilt fire safety and inbuilt, they'll basically be insulated.
Yeah. Granted, the door's open. This general facility isn't particularly vulnerable to fire, and there are sprinklers that will almost certainly go off when you trigger your power.
Alright, so that's going to be...
You'll burn the place down.
Okay, so it's going to be... Difficulty is going to be... So yeah, so it starts off at difficult. So 8 plus 5 is 13, not 12, Evan. You can do math. 13, and I'm going to spend 2 blood because I assume once my surprise round is done, we will then roll initiative, which means that it will then be a new round, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I might as well just go whole fucking hog. So that will be 13 dice. That will be 13 dice because it's 16 minus 3 for their resolve. So that will be 16 minus 3. And I'm going to make it a rote action by taking a damage, Bishop.
Okay. So you're going to take an unsoakable ag.
Because bitches came into my house! So how do you add the rote quality on the thing?
You basically do at Discord roll, then put rote.
So at Discord roll rote, or rote, is it?
Yeah, let me give you an example.
I mean, you could just roll it for me if you want to just roll 13 dice.
Roll rote 30.
Sadness. All right, so yeah, boom.
Okay. So 6. 2 of that will need to be spent of increasing the size of the fire. And I'll just say spending 2 successes allows you to hit 2 additional people because it's easier that way. They're fairly comped up, so it's not like you have to spend 5 successes on size to hit the entire room.
That's fair.
So yeah, use in a stream of flame that splits into 3 waves. It strikes all 3 individuals, all of whom are badly burned, apart from the woman, who appears substantially less damaged, although it still burns her. And
Heartwell
roll for frenzy real quick.
Heartwell will say something piffy like, "Do you know why they call us dragons?"
Okay. None of them actually frenzy. They all succeeded their frenzy checks. In fact, one of them almost succeeded. Almost got exceptional.
Nice.
On 5 dice. So
that guy needs a promotion. Give him promotion!
Promotion, if he doesn't die horribly. We'll see. So roll me...
We're doing rolls?
Roll me your initiative, yeah.
What is initiative in the system again? It's a D10 plus wits and composure or something, or plus dex composure or something?
It is... your initiative modifier is your dexterity plus your composure.
And it's 1d10, right?
That's 1d10. Interesting.
That's a total of 6 for me. Infinite sadness.
Okay. Well, someone's going first. Get me a notepad out. So, what's your initiative? Sorry.
6. Because it's a 5 plus the 1.
Heartwell is having a bad time. One of them needs to roll. Oh no, I didn't mean to do roll 5, just roll 1. 5 is the modifier. Okay. Okay. So no.
Hmm?
So to give you sort of an idea of the situation as we enter combat, if a woman is going to strike first, she actually loses a point of initiative. She actually loses several points of initiative because they're all holding weapons, so they actually all lose initiative. So I'm actually just going to double check that real quick. It is they lose. I was going to say to lose 2. We'll count swords as machetes for the purposes of this combat.
Machete don't preach.
So you actually go before 2 of them.
Hooray!
So the woman turns to you, still blazing and on fire. She is injured, but she's coping with it surprisingly well.
Are we doing the same thing we did last time, where they take constant tick down damage as they're still on fire?
Yeah, most of her body is non-flammable. So she'll only take some tick damage for the next round, but after that round it will be normal. Cause she's wearing metallic armor. She's not wearing average clothes, and she has nothing flammable on her person. The other 2, they're wearing Kevlar, and their gear is generally flame retardant. So they'll actually take no tick damage at all because they're actually wearing flame retardant gear. One of them looks close to death. One of the other men looks injured but still going. He looks fairly resilient. He took a beating, but he's still standing. He stumbled when you struck him and almost frenzied, but he looks like he could go another round with you. And the woman almost looks like she just took it on the chin. Her face is scarred, but she didn't appear particularly fazed by it, other than the fact that you clearly surprised her. So she's going to go first. You can use celerity to try and go first.
How does that work mechanically?
Basically, you can spend a point of celerity, spend a point of vitae to activate the active effect of celerity, which is to immediately hit the top of the initiative order. She does potentially have the capacity to contest if she has celerity. In fact, any of these kindred could, in theory, if they wanted to go first. In which case, it would come down to a clash of wills of celerity.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll spend the vitae to try and jump to the top of the initiative. Any point that they are not spending vitae is a point that is not going to smash me in the face with vigor.
That is valid. That is a valid observation. Vigor, my greatest enemy. We meet again.
I too have vigor.
So they are the 2 men are not going to contest. However, she will.
Does that mean okay, cool. So we now have a roll off, I assume?
Yep, it is a contest. So
2 successes on 4 dice. I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh, you actually beat her.
Yay!
So you go first.
Guess who's getting lit on fire again?
Yes. This time, it should be noted, upon the combat initiating, she unsheathes her blood red sword.
Oh, bollocks! That's his actual in-character. Oh.
It should also be noted, her armor is blood red.
Oh, extra bollocks.
It's like chainmail, but it's completely red. That was a minor detail I forgot to mention.
Because Evan out of character knows what that is. Fuck you, Bishop.
Yeah. Magic. She's going to charge you down, but you're going to have an opportunity to strike her before she charges you down. However, as she does, and she holds up her sword, you do feel that sort of dampening effect wash over you as you find your power over your own sorcery weakened. It is a sudden withering. It is almost like feeling your muscles atrophy in a way.
Does using Auspex take a turn?
I believe it does. I'll just double check though. Action instant. Yeah, they're all instant actions, which basically means they take up your attack round.
Eek.
Now, you could attempt to just run if you're not confident. Retreat is always an option.
Retreat is always an option. However, they are in my lab! Nobody fucks with the people in here but me. The Crusader's the big problem. And I'm currently using Heartwell's very, very meticulous brain to try and think what he would do.
Yeah, and you should note you are down a health level, which means if she hits you, she could very well take you out on a single swipe of that blade.
Yeah. I think what Heartwell's going to do is...
You still have an extra blood point to spend. If you want to spend it to trigger the other effect of celerity, you can.
What, to increase my movement speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to run the opposite direction to basically try and get distance. And he's going to basically blast her with fire as he runs away.
Okay.
He's yeeting himself the opposite direction, basically. So it's an additional -3, right?
Yes, she has.
Oh, but by the way, I should say, because this is actually quite important and we all forget it. When I do fire on people, it's a base 2 weapon damage plus my successes. It's not just my successes. So when I did it last time, it would have been
+2 damage. Yeah.
I'm just making sure that was counted for.
Yeah, it was counted for. I just subtracted 2 to account for the additional size from your successes.
Awesome.
It's just that none of them got one shot by it. One of them was very heavily injured, like suffering major wound penalties. The other 2 are still standing.
All right. In that case, yeah, I'm going to spend 2 willpower to do another blast, but I'm not going to make it rote this time because that will kill me.
Okay.
Or rather, she will then kill me.
What do you have left?
This will be dropping me to willpower 0, so this is the last time I can do this. But I'm basically hoping that I cripple her to the point I can actively fight her.
Okay.
So I'm at willpower 0. There's no mechanical downside to go willpower 0, is there?
No, but psychokinesis is a drawback when you hit willpower 0. The drawback is when you deplete your last willpower point, I can call on your abilities to manifest spontaneously.
Oh, I'm entirely okay with that. Fuck it, let's go, children. So that's going to be different. So that's going to be 5. So it's going to be 8 plus 5 -6. Did you say? Yeah, I'm at
it's a -6 penalty. Yes, she for whatever reason, the way in which she moves, and specifically what she is saying is dampening your magic.
Cool, -6. So that's yeah. Damn it.
Well, I do again.
I do get. I tried.
You tried. I'm actually just gonna check how much her armor soaks, because archaic armor is not actually very effective.
Also, can armor soak fire in this game?
That's also a good question.
Because it can't in Masquerade.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. Might just.
I need to go.
Oh, sorry.
I need to go get it. You check that, and I get a drink.
Yeah. Let's see. Red locker. Armor.
I return.
Okay, so I've been looking up Hurt Locker and it doesn't really clarify too much. It says it provides armor against normal attack and firearm attacks, but I'm also aware that Hurt Locker allows armor to apply to explosions, and normally one needs armor piercing to break through armor. So in this case, I'm going to make, for this specific occasion, so Resident, I'm going to say her armor's less effective. One, because it's not really meant to stop a fireball. It stops some of the kinetic energy and some of the immediate heat that blasts her. Fire doesn't physically impact her skin, but it's also it's also metal. It conducts heat, so her armor is literally going to start cooking her alive if she keeps getting blown up like this. So her armor's only going to be half as effective against fire attacks, at least in this situation.
I am entirely sanguine with that.
So you deal. So she actually takes 2 aggravated damage from that. I actually just need to make sure that.
Oh wow! So she, unless she's like a bucket of fortitude, she must be looking pretty sad right now.
She takes 2 ag and. No, she's still going. She's still going. And you're in 1 ag.
Because I did also celerity away.
You did celerity.
Like, no.
And 1 of her blood points was wasted, but her second will not be. So she'll spend another point of blood to just catch up to you, and you do notice she is about as fast as you.
Does her armor or her wound penalties slow her down?
She's not currently suffering from wound penalties. Her armor actually slows her down, but it's being compensated by a high strength rating and a high vigor rating.
That's entirely fine.
So she's actually still getting. She still has a lot of speed. Farah, cool. Speed is strength, size, and size, strength, and dex as well. So, she is going to strike you.
Not my face.
In the face. You have a defense rating of 4. She has an attack rating of.
She has attack rating of what, sir? You kind of cut out mid-sentence there.
Oh, I'm just calculating her dice pool, sorry.
But yes, I have a defense of 4.
Okay. She hits you for 1, 2, 3, 4 lethal.
Oof. All right, I have 2 health levels remaining. So, Bishop, do we at least outpace the other 2 who are behind us? With our celerity running.
Yes, one is attempting to reach you, but he can't reach you this turn, even with a full movement action, although he is close. And the other one actually barges into the storage room where the kindred are. He completely avoids combat, and I'm actually going to have him effectively be out of combat until he decides to rejoin or until you reach him, because he's entering another room.
Yeah, so running can't really work because she's as fast as I am, so I can't really avoid her.
You're in a pretty dangerous situation.
I have an idea, and I think I'm going to bank on it. Bishop, I'm going to enter frenzy.
You can't willingly enter frenzy unless you have Call of Overwhelm.
I've taken a lot of damage.
Yes, but I have not provoked frenzy in you. Frenzy needs to be.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Yeah, this is literally level 1 of Call of Overwhelm.
Okay, I thought that anyone could enter frenzy, or if they'd suffered a lot of damage, frenzy?
Sometimes it can provoke frenzy, but not always. I was going to do it to you if you'd suffered 5 or more damage, but she only got 2 successes on her check, so she didn't actually do as much damage as I was expected her to do. So yeah, you can't willingly enter frenzy, unfortunately, unless you have core level 1. Which is why it's good.
Yeah. Because my idea is, if I can grapple her, she doesn't get to use her fancy sword. And I'm probably a better grappler, because that's how Alexander, he's not necessarily spec'd for much, really, in combat. He doesn't have a specific spec, but he is a pretty decent grappler.
You could attempt to grapple her. Every few seconds you buy, help is on the way. If you can buy enough time.
I know. Yeah. Actually, Bishop, you know what? Let's because I get to go first with the initiative, so let's spend blood for celerity and try and dodge around a corner to reestablish my obfuscate.
Okay.
I'm not very good at this, but would there be another thing? Okay, where I am physically at the moment, bear in mind this is my facility, so I know it pretty well. Is there anywhere else that I could go that has a heavy duty door that would take them a little while to hack through or anything like that?
You can attempt to. Yeah, you can. There is there is a panic room you can attempt to reach. That is not connected to the not connected to the hall you're in, but it is connected to the laboratory. So if you spend celerity to put yourself in the panic room and effectively lock it and say, I'm staying in here now.
Well, he doesn't even need to stay there for very long. He just needs to stay there for enough turns to heal off his damage, and then he can probably come out again. Because he's only taken lethal, which is 1 for 1 to heal, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Bishop, basically, Heartwell is going to bomb it using his celerity. I'll spend for my celerity, and he'll bomb, and I'll spend the other point this turn to heal off points of lethal to bring me up to 3 health levels, which will mean I'm sitting at a total of now 7 blood. Because it was 2 from 11. Yeah, so I'm sitting at a total of 11 blood. I'm sitting at a total of 7 blood. As he's going to bomb for the panic room. No.
Surprisingly enough, she doesn't chase you.
Huh.
So you're able to get away and lock yourself in the panic room. How long do you intend to remain there?
Not long, as I said, only about a minute or 2. So basically, I'm going to heal. So I've got 7 blood, and I'm currently sitting on 3 health levels. I'm going to drop to 4 blood and heal myself up to my 6 that I can heal, because the 1 is obviously aggravated. And then he's going to spend about a minute to 2 minutes in the panic room, and then he's going to leave again.
Okay.
Essentially, he just needed to do his, oh shit, there's a boss fight. I need to quick heal. Kill, please.
Okay. Then, okay. So, what you're going to hear as you heal up. So you hear a lot of noise. Actually, not too close to you, funnily enough.
No, my valuable stuff.
You hear a lot of smashing. You hear a lot of things being ripped apart. You hear doors being caved in and smashed off their hinges.
Oh, my poor doors.
You also hear your phone go off.
He answers the phone.
It's just a text.
Okay, what's it say?
It says, it's from Rachel. It says, "We're here."
All right. He says, they're upstairs. They're destroying my work. Please hurry. But yes, he will exit out, at which point he shouts at the top of his lungs, "Fuck your God and everything he stands for. We are they who spit in his eye." You know what? I'm pissed now. Like, Bishop, I would actually say that them destroying his work might be a frenzy check.
I think that's actually valid. Yeah, you reckon that they are destroying your research right now, and
my work.
Not only that, but one of those files held a discovery that you just realised may have been important to your scale.
My work. Can I opt to fail my frenzy roll, Bishop?
You can opt to. You can. You know what? I won't allow you to fail. I'll allow you to dramatically fail.
You allow me to what, sir?
I'll allow you to dramatically fail.
I'm gonna have to be stabbed down by the Ordo.
You may be staked.
I'm okay with. I'm okay with this. Yeah, no, Bishop. They're destroying his work. Like, this is something that I feel the character would legitimately just go fucking ham.
Okay, then.
I will, however, attempt to ride the wave, because it is something I think I can do.
You cannot ride the wave.
No. Yeah. Oh no, I cannot ride the wave. Yeah, no. He wants to kill them. He wants to kill them and drink their fucking souls.
Ye old slope.
Oh yeah, if he gets them, they're dying to his fangs.
Okay, then everything for Heartwell is going to go red as every fibre of his being blocks at the concept of that which is most precious to him, to his work, being destroyed in the name of ignorance. When you come to Heartwell. Coming!
Oh dear.
To Heartwell.
Do I lose? I thought there was going to be rolling in combat. Do I lose that much control?
You are going to wake up. And you're going to be standing lurched over this woman?
Same woman as before? Or a different woman?
No, I will just show you on the what you see. Going to be standing lurched over this woman.
No, my
and you're
friend.
going to be you're currently being held down by Lannistav.
I'm down to what, sir?
You're currently being held down by Lannistav.
There's that moment of clarity as he blinks the kind of the frenzy away. You know, where the feral moment dies. So what he does is, rather than trying to talk, he basically goes limp to show that, no, I'm not struggling anymore.
Yeah, you don't remember much. What little you remember of your frenzy was it was Rachel that entered into the room first as you broke out of the panic room. She actually attacked several of the Sanctified as they attempted to kill you before, for whatever reason, you turned on her in frenzy. She currently appears to be torpid. Her body is completely mangled.
But, because I don't actually. How big a guy is Lannistav? Like, is he like how big is he? If you get me,
He's not a giant, but he's taller than you. He's a fairly large man.
So he kind of, as I said, he goes entirely limp just to show that, no, I'm actually back, and he says he actually doesn't talk. He kind of just works his jaw, if that makes sense, because it how much damage has Heartwell taken? Like, how many? Sitting on?
You didn't take any damage. It appears that Rachel literally shielded you from all harm.
I must apologize that we're meeting under these circumstances, Master Lannistav.
Could you... And I do have one last thing I need you to roll. So that it is part of your frenzy. I need you to roll me a Humanity 5 breaking point.
I don't remember what that is.
When you dramatically fail a frenzy, you can only come out of a frenzy when you commit a breaking point. Assaulting someone who, in theory, this is actually quite a bit lower, but you were in frenzy, so you weren't in control. You attempted to kill someone who was trying to protect you, and that would be a breaking point at Humanity 5, considering it was in frenzy, so it wasn't your intent. So it was
what's the
attempted killing?
What's the difficulty of the roll?
It would be 3 dice plus your touchdown bonus if you have one.
Yes, I currently still do.
Okay.
Oh wow, he gets an exceptional success.
Okay. You Okay, you not only feel an intense guilt for attacking someone that attempted to protect you, but as you look upon this moment, you resolve yourself to never commit such an action again, and you take the inspired condition for resolving yourself with such conviction.
What does that do?
Getting cold.
What's it? Yeah, I know. I believe you can check it in conditions later, but it is a positive condition as you realize your actions and realize this can never happen again. And I think with that, would it be fair to end the scene there? As unfortunately,
I was because I think you have to go and have dinner, don't you? Yeah, no, it's entirely fair. I'll have basically. I just have a few questions, but yeah, if you could, I'm happy to end the scene there, and if you could just answer my questions out of character, that's fine. Or out of scene, that's fine.
And I think that is all. End the scene. Thank you, players for playing. Thank you, watchers for watching. We'll see you all next time.